Last year, myself and Tris spent a good few weeks in Europe filming the first two parts of this film, without fishing and solely focusing on the camera work. It's safe to say that during these trips we massively caught the bug to do some public fishing for ourselves, and when the time allowed, it would be a big tick off the bucket list for us both. During the spring of last year, we had that opportunity, and after only a few weeks planning, it was time to pack the gear and head off. 18 nights ahead of us in 4 different countries, our first ever road trip, and one that will certainly stay with us for the rest of our lives. Welcome to Create Your Own Path.
I'm absolutely shaking.
Perfect way to see off Belgium. Let the drive to France begin. The old van's heavy, Bob.
Are you excited, Tris?
I am getting very excited now.
We're almost there, mate.
Here we are. I can see land. It's yeah, a long time coming. Finally doing it, justifying it. It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be good.
A lot of exciting places coming up.
Yeah. I don't even know what part I'm most excited about. At the moment, I'm excited about getting in the car,
Yeah.
putting the sat nav on, getting the tunes on. It's sunny, 20 degrees.
Spring.
Spring. It is spring. Proper spring.
Let's hope they're hungry.
So hungry. I mean, it's textbook perfect. Like everything is sort of starting to align nicely. It's just looking and feeling really good. Like it's been cold where we're going, and for the last sort of 3 days it's been hot and due quite a lot of hot weather as well. No, it's just everything feels good.
It's good for me. Like bacon.
Not as good as bacon.
Bacon.
Bacon's better for me than
Bacon contains...
good for me.
What's it got in it? Something else. Nitrates. Nitrates. Don't eat bacon, it's got nitrates. It would have to be this song, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. I don't even like this song.
I love this song.
Right way, because we followed this postcode last time, didn't we? And it took us a different way.
Yeah, I think so. There's a little mini roundabout we've got to turn down. It's not here. I don't think it's here yet.
It's not on the sat nav, is it? If I'm right. Although our first destination was in Holland, it would be rude not to swing by and see our good friend Gio and have a wander around the Syndicate Lake.
We were due to come back here later in the week, and it's fair to say that what we saw got us very excited for the trip ahead.
Yeah, I know. Grail coming here is good. Ah, there's one in the middle. Wasn't even me. You got that on camera? Yeah, I got that.
After a couple of hours driving through the Dutch countryside and a quick stop at a small farm shop to grab a well-needed drink and some fresh fruit, we arrived at Patrick's house in the centre of Rotterdam. We were eager to see some of our options, but we did have one place in our heads as a starting point.
Yeah, that's in this little bay here. It's overhanging trees, but I think there are people fishing right now there. You can park here. It's not really a far walk, so.
Is it walking like this floor?
Yeah.
That sounds good.
It's no bushes shit. But there are, how do you call it? The cows or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't even know what they are. Big motherfuckers.
Big bug motherfuckers. They're like this.
Buffaloes.
Yeah, sort of buffaloes, man. But they're chill. So, but they're impersonating. How is it?
Huh?
They impersonate you. How is it? Impersonating?
Impersonating.
Impersonating? Yeah.
Impersonating a cow. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't either. No. It's big. It's not. It's like whoa. What the fuck? How do you call it?
Impressive?
Impressive.
Yeah, impressive. It's an impressive animal, but it's a chill one. So
Can you ride them?
if you want.
Sweet.
I could probably try it.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Okay, you follow me.
Following you.
Okay, cool.
Excited.
I am excited now. I've seen it.
I'm excited now. Yeah, so drive down here. It's been a bit, I wouldn't say eventful. I wouldn't say concerning. It's just been, it's been emotional. We've driven through some pretty interesting areas. We've seen some pretty interesting places that we could have fished. But now we are putting up to our first location, and it looks awesome. Proper Park Lake, loads of people about, but look at it. That is a scene. And only 2 vans. There he is. Fucking sick. It looks good, man. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm seeing. We weren't quite sure what to expect, were we, Bob? But
I weren't too sure, but I think
there he is, man.
I think the boys pulled it out the bag.
This looks good. This looks good. This is good. Let's have a look. Man, it looks awesome.
Only the spot where I prefer to go is.
It's taken.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, there's somebody's.
With the daylight fading very quickly and in actual fact a much busier lake than we first thought, we did manage to find a few fish and settle into a swim together for the night. We had some dinner and it was nice to briefly catch up with Mike, who met us at the lake after work. We got our heads down for an early night in preparation for a very busy day to come.
Today, Matthew, I'm going to catch my first Dutch carp.
The morning arrived with no fish caught during the night, so we quickly packed up and tried to find some fish around the lake for some quick opportunities. Whilst walking around, we soon realised the actual size of the place, and whilst searching, we did find a few fish, but in areas already taken by other anglers. There was a lot of water near us and Patrick had a few tricks up his sleeve, so after a huge van sort out, we were back on the road again.
After a hectic day walking around several lakes, we had finally decided to fish a small waterway that happened to be in the middle of a housing estate.
Scorching, because that's the middle of summer. Apparently it was about 2 degrees here last week, 2 or 3 degrees. That's what it was saying, wasn't it? And now it's nearly 30. Nearly 30 degrees, 27 degrees it was in the van coming in. Touching. Well, yeah. That's been out there for a minute, not even that. Dutch PB. There we go, it's been a pretty eventful day so far. But yeah, after dropping onto a little park lake, I would say park lake, it's right in the middle of a housing estate. But yeah, no, it's certainly paid off. Been here for about 15 minutes and yeah, managed to bag our first Dutch carp each. So yeah, it's really, really, really hot today, so we're not going to mess about. We'll get straight back in the water and yeah, head on to the next place, I think. But I'm sure we'll find time for a couple more casts yet. So
Happy days.
happy days. Well, the old expression like buses. We've literally just finished that first little bit of filming. Got the fish back and just about to start doing a bit of filming. And yeah, left hand rod absolutely ripped off. Another little Dutch common. Oh. Happy days. Not very big, but exactly what we wanted to do. Catch a couple of fish at the beginning of the trip. So we haven't been fishing for 24 hours yet. We've certainly seen a few lakes, but yeah, these are about the only 3 carp we've seen. Oh, Jensen next to me. He's had the biggest of the lake out today, haven't you?
Yes.
The biggest one in the lake just before we got here. So yeah, well done. Can't quite beat that at the moment. A couple of very small commons, but yeah, still not bad for 20 minutes fishing. So yeah, wicked. Third one, can't complain. Off to the next one.
From what was essentially a tiny village pond, we packed up the gear and headed to a very large water just a short drive from where we were. This was somewhere we dearly wanted to wet a line for ourselves, having been there without fishing the previous year. Upon arrival, we were greeted with one of its beautiful sunsets as it began to sink beneath the horizon in front of us. With just enough light to pump up the boat and position the rods for the night, we soon sat back for some well-earned dinner and got our heads down.
I don't know if it's a bream or not, but
No, it's not a bream. It's a roofly. Okay.
is that a bream?
Is it the predator thing what I told you about?
Wow. Interesting. Can I have my net? Sorry. Is that a big one?
Average.
What?
This is a road fly.
Roof fly.
Roofly.
Wait, this is a pocket fish. Quite sure what I was expecting, but it wasn't a roof fly. It's a cool fish, mate.
Yeah,
It's rather that than a
It's
bream.
a nice fish. It's a nice fish, but not if you're fishing on carp.
Not a no for fishing for carp.
No.
You catch these on lures?
Yeah,
yeah.
it's possible, yeah.
That's cool. Very cool.
Road fly.
Roof fly.
Roofly.
Roof fly.
The size of its fins, mate. Golden. There we go. What a way to start on the big lake. South of Holland. It's a bit lively. It's been in the retainer for an hour or so until the sun come up. But yeah, I'm absolutely blown away to have caught one on the first night on here. Proper chuffed. I cannot wait to spend the rest of the day stalking from the boat for some of these beautiful fish. Lovely. In the morning sun as well. Couldn't ask for any more. We spent several hours that day tirelessly searching the shallow margins for some fish, but to no avail. When we eventually arrived at the far end of the lake, we stumbled across a couple of Pat's friends who were due to pull off their spot for a few hours that afternoon.
Go ahead. Hi, Peter. Tristan. Hi. Lovely to meet you.
Hello.
Hi, Peter.
Louis.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Catch a fish. But how long denk je? 2 hours.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
Then we give it a good chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
perfect.
know? So we stay here for 2 hours. If they're coming back, we're leaving. We're gonna stalk. Yeah, some places.
Nice.
Okay. So you know what to do.
Yep.
There were clearly some fish in the area, and as Patrick's friends were leaving, they invited us to put our rods out whilst they were away from the lake. It wasn't long before one of my rods was away.
Very quick.
Nah, it's got off. It's off.
At that moment in time, there was nothing that I wanted more than to land one of these incredible carp. But unfortunately, I'd had my chance. Within what felt like seconds, Patrick's friends were back, and it was time for us to find somewhere to fish for the night ahead, but not before enjoying the hot afternoon sun with a few cold Dutch beers.
Cheers.
Live, drinking more beer?
Live on the bay.
This is the confession cam. Day number 3 with Louis. I just don't know how much more I can take. 16 days left with him. I've got 16 days. And it's like my missus. It's like a girlfriend. On you all the time. Ow! Have we cleaned the dishes? Have we got bait? Do you remember to fill up the water? Wait. The battery's charged. Honestly. I've had easy relationships. Shortly after losing that fish, Patrick's friends returned, as well as one other of his friends, and it was a really nice afternoon actually. We all tied the boats together, had a couple of beers, and just enjoyed the sun, because to be completely honest, it didn't really look like the fish were playing ball for the rest of the afternoon. So with that in the past now, we've still got a couple of hours of daylight left, and we have a plan of action for this evening. There's a big bay just to the left of where we were fishing, and Patrick assures us that it's going to hold fish this evening, especially with the temperatures upwards of 25 degrees today. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to go back to the van, grab our bed chairs, a little bit more bait and a few other little essentials, and we're going to chuck all of our stuff in Patrick's boat again, head all the way up to the other end of the lake where we've seen some fish, and going to set up there for the evening, enjoy what I'm sure is going to be another beautiful sunset, get some food in us, and see what the night brings.
Maakt niet uit. Nee, joh, ben je gek.
No success last night, was it, mate?
Unfortunately not, apart from the bream. There was certainly a bit of bream activity.
The bream spawning, like
Yeah,
right here.
yeah, it looks like this like surge of really hot weather has obviously pushed the bream into spawning pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And they were everywhere last night. Even if we didn't have a bream on the hook, there was a bream on the rod tips banging them around. It was savage. all night liners keeping us up to the point where sort of sat up from early hours watching. But
So we both need to visit the lav,
yeah,
and then we are going to fish on a kind of an island next to a boathouse today for the day and for the night. Patrick's going to drop us off there.
that's it. And then tomorrow morning,
We're all loaded.
reasonably bright and early, probably get up, have a shower, go to the shop, get some supplies, and then be heading off to see our friend Niels in Germany. So yeah.
Say hello, Fair. Give us a wave, Fair.
Hi guys. One night to go?
This man is a legend.
No.
AKA the old captain.
I'm still alive, guys.
Legends are not
I'm
alive.
getting old, but I'm still alive.
Cool. Right, let's head off to the swim.
Yes.
I got this feeling coming on. So strong, so strong. My body's moving on, but my mind is stuck way in the past. How long will this last?
Despite being settled into the new swim, we couldn't ignore the first night's result. We made a quick decision, packed up and moved round to where we first began. So, good morning. This is our last morning in the Netherlands on the big lake. Nothing to report from last night, to be honest. It was a quiet one, just a bream for me from the beach rod. And yeah, I mean, we did everything yesterday evening that we could have done. We were confident that we put the rods out really well. Obviously, we came back over to this swim having caught one the day before. But yeah, it's just how it goes on big lakes. They're either on you or they're not. So this morning we've just been having a few coffees. Fair's come from his spot on the boat, joined us for a coffee this morning. No fish for him last night either. We've been stripping the memory cards because we've soon discovered that fishing and filming yourself on a trip like this it does come with its complications. Obviously, you have to lug a lot more gear around than you need. So a load of tripods, camera equipment, drones, and yeah, we've managed to fill up our memory cards for the last few days. So Tris stripped all of those this morning. So yeah, we're just now waiting for Patrick to arrive. He's bringing us a bit of food, thankfully, because the shops were closed yesterday for Easter Sunday. We couldn't manage to get any supplies really. So he's getting us out of trouble with a bit of breakfast this morning, and we'll have one last coffee, get packed up, and then get on the road. One more fish here would be amazing, but you never know.
Right, so we're pretty much packed up now. Lou's just doing me a favour because he's a little diamond and bringing my rods in for me because I've got my boots on and I don't really want to have to take them off to get in the water. You know, when you've got people, you use them, don't you? So the one phrase I've heard the most this whole trip is, yeah, I'm almost ready.
I did just reel your rods in.
He did reel my rods in this one time, but as a general daily expression, I'm almost ready. Yeah. You ready, Lou?
Almost.
Exactly. What are we doing, beautiful?
We are gonna go and have a shower, shall we?
Yeah.
Shower, quick shower. Then we're gonna go to Germany.
Nice to see you.
Yes, mate.
Hey.
How are you?
What's up?
You good?
I'm good, yes.
Good.
You too?
Yeah, good, mate. Hot.
How long you drive?
Sunburn.
2.5 hours? Yeah, not too bad.
Look at this service.
Where are we, mate?
We're at Neil's house, and what a place it is. He's looking after us, feeding us beer. We've got barbecue on the go. Talking about tomorrow, where we're going to start. Looking forward to it, mate. All I can think about is the lake at the minute, but
Yeah, same.
up until then, got a
Bit of downtime,
bit of downtime,
bed for the night.
some beer, some decent food, and yeah, just time to sort of spend off the bank for a little while, I think.
Tie some rigs.
Tie some rigs.
I'm going to tie rigs,
definitely.
aren't I, Trist?
Yeah, I reckon you'll tie one. If you even get your tackle box out, I think you might tie a maximum of 4 rigs if we have a rig tying session. But I'm willing to bet money that won't even come out of the car.
How much money are you betting?
See, you're going to go get out of the car, but not tying it.
As soon
Try
as
and
you
catch
say
me
the
out,
amount,
yeah.
I'm going to go tie some rigs.
Exactly. Yeah. So this fish was
Yeah.
caught in 1969.
Really, yeah.
Focusing.
About 15 kilo. And it was about 15 kilo too.
Mate,
now.
I'm getting excited now, man.
Why is it not focusing now?
Yeah, he's calling the rig.
Yes.
15 years before, or 20 years, I don't know, when he fished there at this lake, he fished with his best friend there, and one day the best friend lost a fish.
Yeah.
The rig getting off, or cut off, the line getting cut off, you know?
Yeah.
So everything lost, and the next day his best friend had an accident and died. Really strange. And after that, maybe a few days later, he caught a fish, and it was this fish, and has the rig he've lost a few days before in his mouth. So he have to call him the rig, and he's still alive. Yeah, I'm caught him the first time in August or September, and post a picture, and he write me under the picture.
The rig.
Yeah, and I talked to him. I know him a bit, not that much, but and yeah, it's a crazy story.
Wow, that is a crazy story, yeah.
And he's still alive.
Hopefully we'll catch
Maybe
that
he's
again.
gonna come. Yeah, maybe he's gonna come this week.
And he looks so much bigger than 15 kilo.
Really?
Yeah, really.
This was to be our first time fishing with Niels, and after conversations over dinner, we were going to bed that night really excited for our session ahead.
He's filming again. I looks like shit in the morning.
So do I. Got loads of rigs tied last night.
Definitely didn't.
I lost that bet.
The whole way
Bad.
coming down yesterday, he's like, I'm gonna get into Niels, I'm gonna tie some rigs, gonna get ready for the session.
So,
I was like, no you won't, Lou.
No.
No you won't.
No.
He offered me a bet and I declined.
Declined it as well, so
Should've
there you
taken
go.
it.
My
Should've
luck's been in again. Welcome to the beer shop.
My sort of shop.
German as well.
I think they're struggling a
Then
bit
it
there.
gets a bit harder. You know what I mean? Maybe I fish 2 rods there, and you or Tristan to the middle, you know, and one of you on the right side, 1 rod, and the left-hand rod into the edge. Prost.
Right, so we're finally sorted in our swim for the night. After arriving here this morning, we had a good look round the lake with Niels. We had a look round on the public bank. The wind was really hacking in there as well when we got here, and both myself and Tristan were sort of like, oh, we want to be here, we want to put the rods out. You know, it just looked perfect. It was a really strong wind, but it was a cold wind. So we drove round to this side of the lake. This is the forest area. And this is the area that Niels has been preparing for this session. So he's been coming down for the last couple of weeks after work, which is on his drive home, every other night, and been putting a bit of bait out in this area. He's been baiting an area that's the size of roughly like a tennis court. So he's put in a bit of groundwork for it. And upon arrival to this swim, it does really look bang on for it. The weather is due to turn around in the night as well, so the wind's going to swap from blowing down this end here behind me is going to blow all the way back up this end to where we've got the rods positioned. So with any luck, the fish turn up on us either during the night or in the early hours, or maybe even this evening. So yeah, Kai, one of Niels' good friends, has just popped down. We're going to have a few beers, look through some pictures of the fish of the lake, get all excited, and enjoy what's probably going to be a really nice sunset with the sun setting just over there. So yeah, fingers crossed that by the morning we've got something to report, maybe our first German carp in the net.
Well, good morning, and what a way to start the first full day in Germany. Last night was a really enjoyable evening, had a few beers, got to know the guys really, really well, and to be honest, went into the night quietly confident. And around about 4 o'clock this morning, I had a couple of beeps on my right-hand rod and sort of just getting my waders on to go and have a little look, and another beep. And I was like, oh, right, ran into the water and I saw my right-hand bobbin was hanging completely slack. So I hit into it and I felt some weight. And so Niels jumped in the water with me. We went up the bank and started retrieving line, but it soon became apparent my line was going straight to a snag, and whatever it was, whether it be a bream or a carp, had ditched the hook completely, and I was left, walking back with a bit of a downer really. So after sorting the new rig out, putting a little bit more bait on the spot and putting the rig back in position and walking back, got back in the bag for around about 2 hours, and completely out of the blue, just sitting there looking out the bivvy door, and the right-hand rod absolutely melted off again, and straight in the water, up to my knees in the water, in my waders, and hit into it, and I felt it straight away, kept taking line, but it was grating again, and I couldn't quite work out what it was, but straight away I could see that my line was sort of wrapped around the same snag that I got hooked on last night. But as we walked down the margin, Niels was with me with the net, I felt it ping off the line, and all of a sudden I could see a dorsal just out of the water in the shallow water, just past the snag. And about 10 minutes went by, and eventually my first German carp rolled over the net cord. And as I say, I couldn't ask for a better way to introduce the morning. And got a massive grin on my face, and so have the other guys. So I'm gonna get in the water, get her out, and have a good look at what is a very, very special fish. How about that for our first German carp of the trip? Absolutely awesome creature. And for the first morning, can't moan at that in the slightest. We've still got 2 nights left yet. And yeah, I'm sure there'll be more of these to come. I think Louis and I may even have a change up in swims this afternoon, so he can fish the right-hand side where I've caught this one from. It's only fair. We did the same at the last lake. So it'd be nice for us to both get off the mark. But yeah, what a carp to start our venture into Germany.
Hello, Lou. What a take.
One noter, wasn't it? Absolute one noter. And I put my waders on as well. I don't normally do that. I normally just run straight in, but fishing open water, so I had a good bit of time to let that go before I got in the water, which is quite helpful. Yeah, buzzing. Buzzing. First German carp on the end. God, it's big as well.
Yeah, man. Congratulations. I think that's the rig. What? That's maybe the rig. Yeah, that's the rig. I'm sure. The rig, the fish, the rig.
The one, the story you told us about.
Yeah, we caught him 4 times.
What did I said when we were sitting?
You talk about yesterday.
I said I was going to catch it.
Yeah.
When we were sitting in your house.
That's strange. First the linear, and I'm sure. Yeah, that's the rig.
That's huge.
He has a black mouse?
Yep.
Yeah, maybe that's the rig. He has a fucking black mouse. That's a fucking dinosaur.
He's looking at me like,
You sure?
are you sure you can take that? Right, I'm going to need some help. Oh, look at his head. Oh my God.
He's hard to handle.
Is he?
All the weight is in the head. Yeah.
Older than me, this one, do you think? Maybe? I'm 30.
Yeah, he's older.
He's older than me. Well, got a very big smile on my face. Just making some breakfast. We haven't eaten anything yet. We're starving, and yeah, just about to put a couple of waffles in the toaster, and yeah, my right hand rod just absolutely peeled off. I had to get the waders on quick and get in the water, but yeah, I've caught myself a really special carp. 36 pound, very, very old mirror. What a beauty. Beautiful, beautiful old carp. It's exactly why we came here. Ecstatic to have caught this one on the first morning. Get in. Oh, she's heavy. So we're fast approaching the evening of our first full day now. Nothing to really report on the fish front today. It's been a pretty quiet day. We've just been sitting back and chilling and taking in the captures from this morning, really, just looking through the pictures and the video clips and just reliving what happened this morning. We're still both blown away. All of us are blown away by those 2 captures this morning. We're going into the evening. This big wind has really turned up now, as you can probably see behind me. It's really pushing down into this corner, so yeah, it's looking good for another one. But yeah, we're gonna redo the rods now, all of us at the same time, so we've got minimal disturbance and we're ready for this evening. You never know, there could be a bite this evening if they do turn up on us. If not, we're gonna have rods in position, ready for a bite during the night or early tomorrow morning. So yeah, after that, a little bit of grub. We've got a bit of pasta tonight, a bit of tagliatelle. Gonna get that down us early night and see what happens in the morning.
So, we just got caught up in a massive storm. Mate, I haven't fished in anything like this for a very long time, if ever. Literally, we knew it was supposed to pick up the wind tonight, which it did. It swung round exactly as it was forecast. It's absolutely perfect. And then we saw what looked like quite heavy rain clouds in the opposite bank coming towards us, and literally we could count down on one hand. And yeah, it turned up with massive power. It's proper buzz being in it, to be honest. Bit inconvenient, everything got wet. Louis still hasn't got his rods out, but yeah, currently locked up in the brolly, holding on for dear life. And yeah, got to have a little sort out and try and get stuff dry, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Exactly what we want from after a very hot few days. So yeah, bring on tonight.
There we go. Another very welcome sight for our second morning here, and I can't say it wasn't expected after that massive storm turned up last night. It really was quite spectacular watching it out of the brolly. Waves crashing over the rods and everything. So yeah, we did expect a bite or two last night, and I'm happy to say that this certainly wasn't the only one we caught. So yeah, just as I got this one in the net, Neil's had one as well, nice little common. So yeah, have a little look at that one as well. Perfect way to start a morning. Nice little mirror and common brace for us, and it looks really good for the rest of the day ahead. I think we saw a fish show earlier as well. So yeah, I'm gonna get the kettle on, sit back, and hopefully await another fish. Third one this morning after a heavy storm last night. Yeah, the fish are in the area. Yeah. Just big now. Big koi. Second fish for me this trip. Nice character. We have very good conditions for another bite, and all of us catch a fish so far. Yeah. Looking forward to catch another one. Have a look at this beauty.
After a busy morning, me and Lou popped back to the van to sort out the camera gear. Upon our return, to our surprise, we found that Niels had another fish waiting in the net. We slipped it into the retainer and waited for some batteries to charge.
I need to get the... Can we lift it? You can read it properly? Yeah. So £40 too. I need to... Yeah, 42. 80.3 kilo.
Okay. Without the sling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, without the
Nice.
Yeah, mate.
He's alive.
Yeah.
Really alive. $18.3 kilos, just over 40 pounder in England. I'm happy everybody caught a fish. Nice when a plan comes together. And I'm sure we catch maybe another one, maybe two.
So we're well and truly into the afternoon now, and as expected, after Neil's last fish at around about 10 o'clock, the fish activity really has begun to dry up a little bit. But we're making the most of the quiet afternoon. Had a nice bit of lunch. Lou very kindly made some pancakes. We had a little bit of a chill in the sun, dried out some clothes from last night's weather, and just generally got ready for our last night ahead. Tied some rigs, prepared some bait for the rest of our trip, and I've actually decided to have a bit of a change up with my rods. My left-hand rod was actually fishing into open water, which was a recommended spot from the off when we got here, but that hasn't actually produced a fish for me. So I'm moving it a little bit further right, closer to my right-hand rod, but not quite the same spot. I don't want to intrude too much into that area, as I've been having to fish from it and I don't really want to ruin it for myself. But just a little bit further from the left of that spot is a little bit more of a drop off. It goes down to about 2 meters as opposed to about 1.2. And yeah, that general area has done me fish already, so there's no reason why a rod in the deeper water just off that spot won't. Another thing I did, which is worth mentioning, is through both those fish that I had over the last couple of days, at some point in the fight, something has got caught on my line and I've had to walk out. Obviously I'm walking down the margin anyway to net the fish, but I've actually had to walk out, dislodge it from some sort of snag that's on the bottom, and then obviously play the fishing, which hasn't really been too much of an issue so far. But I don't want that issue again. So what I've done is I've followed my lines out as I've reared it in all the way through. Luckily it's a shallow lake, so I can do that, but I've literally followed the line all the way down to where my lead was sitting, and I've removed any snags that were actually sort of on that line where my line was laying. So hopefully getting my line snagged during a fight is the last thing I have to worry about for this last night. It's approaching that time now where we're going to do the same as yesterday. All three of us are going to redo our rods at the same time to make all the disturbance in one go, which shouldn't be a lot anyway. But yeah, get it all done early so we can have some dinner, watch the water for the evening, and this time we may even be lucky enough to bag an evening bite.
Fucked and drank all night, acted all alright. Had no need to fight tonight. Fucked and drank all night, acted all alright. Had no need to fight tonight.
Whoa. We were literally just standing next door and I heard a couple of beeps. Came back to my rod and it's absolutely peeling. Like next level peeling. Like not in the UK sort of peeling. And I'm into a carp. Right underneath my rod tip.
Cast me far away. Play these little games. Acting all okay. Today. Cast me far away. Play these little games. Acting all okay. Today.
Boom.
Look at the scales.
There we go. This one certainly wasn't expected. I was just walking down to the rod to recast for the night and I was greeted with an absolute one-toner. So yeah, perfect way to end the day today. I'm going to get the rod sorted for the night. Hopefully the morning takes continue into tomorrow. Happy days.
Cast me far away. Play these little games. Acting all okay. Today.
Right, well, good morning, and I've got a smile on my face because although it's our last morning, it's been a very, very productive one. Going back a little bit to last night, we went into the night with the weather. We had quite a big weather front turn up again, a lot of wind, a lot of rain, which made things a little bit hard for us, especially Tristan, who unfortunately lost 2 fish during the night, but fair play to him, hats off. The amount of effort that he went through during the night, up and down the margins, placing his rods again and rebaiting. Although he lost the 2 fish, it wasn't all bad news. This morning he had an absolutely melting take on his right hand rod. Played that one in and yeah, a lovely fully scaled mirror. No sooner did that one go in the net, his other rod was off and he had literally a fish in the net and then he was playing one in, and yeah, that turned out to be a really nice dinosaur of a mirror at just over 30 pounds as well, 31 odd, something like that.
Yep. There we go, first one from this morning's flurry of madness. A very, very welcome sight on our last morning. 2 bites in very quick succession. In fact, I'd only had this one in the net for about 10 seconds before the other rod ripped off. So yeah, absolutely perfect. Let's have another look at the other one. It's a bit bigger as well, so yeah, well happy. How about that then? Second bite from this morning, and yeah, absolutely chuffed to pieces is an understatement. It made being up all night, replacing the rods after 2 lost fish, all worth the while. And yeah, couldn't ask for a better way for myself to see off a very, very enjoyable session here in Germany. Perfect.
So yeah, we was amazed to have two last fish on our last morning. We thought it couldn't get any better, but as we were packing up, we were literally just playing around with the drone, just setting a time lapse, and yeah, just getting the brollies away. My left-hand rod absolutely peeled off. It was mental. It was going so fast. I couldn't stop it either. It was just fighting and fighting and fighting and taking line and gaining line and lunging, and it was all over the place. But I eventually slipped the net under and sort of mid to upper 30 common, and yeah, blew me away. So, what a morning this has turned out to be. We're just sitting here, just starting to pack up, literally just sorting the cameras out to time lapse us putting our gear away. Left rod's absolutely peeled off, and I've caught myself an absolutely whacking common. It's gone 37 pound. It has behaved. Until I started talking. So yeah, I'm going to do my best to get her up for a look. She's in absolutely mint condition. Really wanted to catch a big common this trip, and pleased to say I have. So yeah, let's have a look at her. Absolutely blown away. Can't thank you enough, Niels, for bringing us here, man. It's yeah, after blanking yesterday, what an absolute result. Only the 2 fish for me this trip, but 1 mirror, 1 common completes the piece. And yeah, what a way to end our trip here in Germany. Buzzing. It's heavy. Oh. So we're going to get all the gear packed up now. We've got that sort of mammoth task again of getting all the stuff out the van and putting it all back in, probably in a different way. Probably 100 different times that gear's gone in the van. But anyway, it's time to head off. We're going to stop off at the supermarket on the way there, pick up some supplies and some food. We're starving hungry because we haven't had any breakfast. We're then going to head to Niels' house, get a quick shower, coffee and a bite to eat, and then yeah, we've got the next leg of the trip ahead of us. Belgium is the next destination. It's only a couple of hours away, only a couple of hour drive from where we are, so not a huge journey by any means, but we're going to fish on the Monkey Climber Syndicate. We're going to pop off and see Gio. He's at a social at the moment with some of his friends, pick up the keys, and yeah, we've seen the fish, we've seen the stock, we've seen some lumps as well. We put some bait in, and yeah, it's time to get the rods out on the Monkey Climber Syndicate. So we'll see you there.